Hi everyone, welcome to week 5 of your oral communication course. I'm your online instructor, Ms. Jackson. The objectives of week 5 are to learn to communicate in group settings as well as identify different types of groups. The reading from this week is going to come from part 3, Foundations of Communication, Chapter 9, Communicating in Groups. So when you think about the different type of groups that you communicate in on a regular basis, you may be thinking about your personal life with family and friends, as well as in your professional life where you're communicating with your coworkers. You're also communicating on a regular basis with myself and the rest of the people in your class. We are all part of a group. So this is how you will communicate with different people here. So this chapter will be really helpful for you there. So the goal of chapter 9 is to understand the characteristics of, the development of, and the evaluation of different types of groups. So there will be a different way that you communicate with each group that's in your life. You may not communicate with your coworkers the same way you may communicate with your family or your friends, where you have a different dynamic of the relationship. Remember, last week we talked about interpersonal relationships and how you communicate differently with the type of relationship you may have with the audience, okay? So keep that in mind as you're reading. Now, the first PowerPoint presentation for this week is talking about communicating in groups, and it's a good PowerPoint. It's not quite as long as last week's presentation, so you're just going to talk through the learning outcomes that you want to have from it is identify different types of groups, analyze characteristics of a healthy group, and understand how groups develop in the first place, and describe the nature of conflicts that may arise in a group, because sometimes conflict can arise, and that can be anywhere from a conflict at your job, it could be a misunderstanding, it could be within your family, or even within your group of friends. And so knowing the dynamics of the group and how to effectively communicate is really important. And then on top of that, knowing how to effectively resolve any type of conflict that may come up. So your first discussion question for the week is to think of the groups in which you have been a member. Which of these groups have had an influence on yourself? Okay, so think about if you've been a part of a group, and that could be, say you played a sport, and so you were part of the basketball team or you were part of the cheerleading team. Those are all groups. You could have been in a different type of club or anything like that. And I want you to talk about how being a part of that has shaped your identity. How do you think you would differ had you not been a part of that group? Okay, so that will be your initial post. That is due Wednesday by midnight. Make sure that you are actively participating in the discussion. That means you're responding to at least 2 of your peers. Hear what they had to say, what groups they were a part of. You may have been in the same groups. So make sure you're responding and interacting as if we were in the classroom together. That's how you get your full discussion points there, okay? If you have any questions, make sure you always reach out to me. Just send me an email. Happy to answer any questions that you have. Your last assignment of the week is due Sunday by midnight. In this assignment, we are going to talk about what your book identifies 6 different characteristics of a healthy group, right? So I want you to describe a group that you are a part of that you think was a really healthy group for you. And I want you to give at least 3 examples of why you think this was a healthy group, how this helped shape you and was beneficial to your life. Okay? So again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Make sure you get all those assignments in. Make sure you're actively participating in the discussion so that you get your full points for your discussion participation for the week. As always, let's have a great week, and I look forward to hearing all of your discussions and everything that you have to share. Thank you.